everyone, my name is Allison and welcome to my channel. I make beauty and fashion videos, and for today's video I filmed a little get ready with me using all of these Jason Wu products. It's pretty much a full face of makeup. Everything that I'm wearing except for my eyeliner and mascara are by Jason Wu Beauty. Jason Wu is a fashion designer that recently came out with his own makeup line. I was really excited to try out his products and support someone who's Taiwanese and LGBTQ. The brand is really interesting because it's backed by Toni, who is the founder of NYX Cosmetics, and I believe she also started Kimchi Chic Beauty. Everything is really affordably priced and sold at Target, so I really like their mission of just making all sorts of beauty products accessible to people. The brand launched with a ton of different products, like multiple products in every category of makeup. So I didn't pick up everything, but I did get all of the things that really stuck out to me in multiple different categories. I got the eyeshadow palettes, the multi-stick products, a lip balm, an eyebrow pencil, and a lip pencil. So this video is like one step past the first impressions. I have been using the products a little bit on my own, but I just wanted to apply them to my face and talk through my thoughts on all the products. So if you're interested in hearing my thoughts, then just keep watching. Okay, let's start off with this lip balm right here. And I was really excited to get it because the photos looked so juicy and I was hoping that it would have a really nice apricot tint to it, but unfortunately it's very sheer. So this is the soft balm. I have it in the shade 2 Apricot. So it looks like, I'm not sure if all of the products from the line fall into each of these, but for this particular product it says it's cruelty-free, vegan, clean, and it's moisturizing. So this product retails for $10 and it's just like a nice lip balm. I do like my lip balms to come in a packaging like this. It's just like a little squeezy tube and then you can apply it directly to your lips, which I do really like. But I mean, compared to other lip balms that I have, I don't think this is any special. Let me just apply it. So this is what the product looks like swatched in my hand. As you can see, it's very sheer. There really isn't going to be any color really that shows up on your lips. So I don't really know why they came out with 3 different colors of this lip balm. They also have so many different lip balm type of products. Like there are lip masks, lip balms, lip oils, I think. So I don't really understand where they were really going with for having so many lip treatment products. It's also not scented at all, which again, I don't really know why they just came out with different colors and flavors if there really isn't going to be a big difference. So for $10, I honestly would rather go out and buy a reputable brand that has a really good high quality lip balm. But now we're going to move on to the eyeshadows, which are a much more exciting product. So I got 2 of these. They're called the Flora 9 eyeshadow palettes. They have 9 colors and they come in 3 different types of color stories. This one is 01 Matte Agave, and you can see that they are all nicely matte shades. The other one that I got is number 2 Prickly Pear, which has quite a number of shimmery colors. So these eyeshadow palettes are definitely what caught my eye when I heard about the launch. They look and feel exactly like the 3CE 9-pan eyeshadow palettes, but I do believe that 3CE is made in Korea and these eyeshadow palettes are made in China. So I have enjoyed using these 2 eyeshadow palettes over the past couple of days. I would say I definitely really enjoy this matte palette here, and I find the Prickly Pear one with shimmers in it to be just okay. I find the quality and the texture of all these matte eyeshadows to be really nice and easy to work with. This is my only all matte eyeshadow palette, and I typically don't use a whole lot of matte eyeshadows when I do my looks. I definitely like to have a lot of glitter and texture and shimmer in my eyeshadow. I don't have the 3CE Smoother palette, but that one actually looks very similar to this one. It's also all matte and has quite a few like more muted neutral matte colors. I wish there was just a little bit more of variety of depth in this palette. As you can see, there's definitely quite a few very similar shades in the palette, and I feel like even if they just made these shades just like a shade or 2 darker, you would be able to have the ability to create a lot more depth. I actually really do like the colors individually that they chose for every shade. They're very soft and wearable and easy to use, but again, I think just there are a couple of shades that will pretty much end up looking very similar on the eyes. But I love how the tones in here are very muted, a little bit more neutral and earthy, and they aren't too warm. Prickly Pear is an interesting palette because there really only is one pure matte eyeshadow in it, and it's the darkest brown in the middle. There are a couple of the like, I think they're called sequin shades, where they're a matte that just has a little bit of glitter in it. So Definitely this shade right here is more of a matte with some sparse glitter in it. So I don't really love the texture in the eyeshadows in this palette. I find them to be on the drier side and are a little bit lackluster on the lids. I also think the color story is a little bit weird because you have some like rusty bronzy brown colors, but then you also kind of have these like pinkish golden duochrome kind of colors that have a little bit of like a purpley shift to it, which I don't really think pairs that well with the browns. So definitely not my favorite palette overall, but my favorite shade is this one in the top corner. You can even see in the pan that it's just like so much more metallic and reflective, and this one does feel quite nice and buttery. I actually really like to apply this eyeshadow wet. I think it gives a really pretty metallic shimmery eyeshadow look. So I'm just gonna create my like everyday makeup look that I've been using with this palette. I'm gonna go in with this middle shade as a transition color, and I really like this color. It's a very nice neutral but still kind of warm brown color that's very soft, really hard to mess up when it's on your eye, but you can slowly build it up if you want a little bit more depth. And then today I'm actually going to try out this color right here, which I think is more of just like a neutral cool toned brown. It looks a little bit olive in the pan, but I think that's just because it's next to the like reddish colored packaging. And then typically in a palette, I would say that these types of shades are pretty useless and I don't really use them out often, but I feel like because this palette is entirely mattes, I don't really feel like I'm missing out on a particular shade, and I actually find these shades to be kind of useful to just help blend out the edges of your eyeshadow. I'm just gonna add this to the top. Okay, we're gonna keep it really simple and then just go in with the lid color. So again, I'm just gonna go in with my favorite shade right here. I think, are these named? I don't think so. But this one I find is just like a really pretty, kind of like a champagne color that isn't too dark or isn't too light. It's just like a really nice kind of brightening lid color. It looks a little bit on the drier side, and like you can kind of see the sparkles really dispersed, but I'm gonna go in with my finger after to concentrate the color a little bit more. I normally would just like spray it, but I don't have my spray with me right now. This shade is beautiful and perfect for an everyday look. So now I'm going to go in and just add a little bit more depth. I'm going to take, I think, this brown right here. If you're looking for very pigmented shadows, then this probably isn't your cup of tea. But if you're a beginner to makeup and you don't have a lot of it, or you're just looking for something on the softer side, I think these eyeshadow palettes are actually really nice. And then after that, what I like to do is just take one of the dark brown matte colors and just kind of blend it very closely to my lash line, just to smoke it out just a little bit. So these products are definitely not dupes for the 3CE eyeshadows. I would say the texture and the formulas are completely different, but I think the overall kind of feel and vibe of the products, like a very soft, slightly more toned down eyeshadow look, is very similar to what you would get from a 3CE palette. Okay, I think that's all I'm gonna do for the eyeshadow today. I'm gonna be right back and put on some eyeliner and mascara. Before we move on to the eyeshadow palettes, I forgot if I mentioned that these are $15 each, and I think a $15 palette for 9 shades is totally reasonable and really good value. However, because I feel like this Prickly Pear palette doesn't really do that well when it's on its own, and you would have to pair it with a matte palette like this one, for $30, I think that you could spend that money on a different kind of palette. Like ColourPop or Ulta has a ton of different brands that have palettes that are under $30, and for that price point, I think you can definitely find something with a little bit more variety and quality. But if you do really like all the colors in this palette, or maybe the one that I don't have, which is called Desert Rose. I think the value of one of these palettes is really good. I do think this is the type of formula that would perform a lot better over a nice eyeshadow primer. I feel like they would benefit from having some sort of base to stick onto. Yeah, just something to keep in mind if you decide to pick up one of these palettes. I do really like this everyday eyeshadow look that I can create with the palettes, but like I said, it takes me 2 of the palettes to get this look, which isn't necessarily worth it. Okay, so now let's actually move on to brows, and I was really excited to see that Jason Wu came out with a variety of different brow products. He has like the 24-hour eyebrow gel that I think tints your eyebrows. He has an eyebrow soap, some brow mascaras, powders, and then he also has the micro brow pencil with spoolie, which is the one that I got. So this product is called Groomed by Mr. Wu, and it comes in 3 shades. I got mine in the shade 2 medium. So I was really excited to try out this product because looking at these swatches online, it looked like this shade was going to be really nice and ashy, but not too dark. I think the packaging is actually a really good indicator of the type of color that you get. It's just like a very cool toned ashy brown color. And I've tried a number of eyebrow products that are like this. I've tried the one by NYX, by Anastasia, by Benefit, and I always thought that they were good, but not really my holy grail. The benefit of these types of products is that they're very easy to use. You have pretty much everything that you need in here to do your brows, but I found that these types of brow pencils would break really easily and I wouldn't be able to use all the product, or that the color was just off for what I wanted. So I can't fully attest to the durability and the packaging of the product, but I will say that I absolutely love the color of this eyebrow pencil and I just love the product so far. So of course this side has this spoolie, which is really nice. I always like to brush up my eyebrow hairs before I fill them in. And I've said before that my favorite eyebrow pencil is by Shu Uemura, mainly because of the color that it gives me. It's a very nice soft ashy brown color, but that pencil definitely has a different type of formula than these micro brow pencils. Very soft and a little bit more waxy, whereas I feel like this one you can really easily just literally draw in however you want your brows. So I personally like to define the edges of my eyebrows. I have a decent amount of brow hair, but I definitely just need to like fill in some spots. I do like how they look on me when they're a little bit more defined. So a pencil like this makes it super easy to just get that nice clean edge, and then you can always brush it out so that it's not harsh at all. So hopefully you can see a difference. I was looking at my brows in the mirror yesterday and I absolutely loved how they looked. I forgot to mention the price. So this brow pencil is $12, which I believe is the same as the NYX micro brow pencil. Okay, then that is my brows done with the Groomed by Mr. Wu brow pencil. Honestly, this is kind of in the running for my new favorite eyebrow pencil. They nailed the color of this, and I think the formula does make this a little bit easier and faster to do my brows than with my Shu Uemura pencil. So if your hair color is similar to mine, then I would definitely check out this specific pencil in the shade number 2. There are only 3 shades total, unfortunately, so it doesn't cover a huge range, but I would still check it out and see if there's something that could work for you. Next up, I picked up 2 shades of the Hot Fluff product. It's a 3-in-1 stick for lips, cheeks, and eyes, and it's described as a weightless modern matte lipstick that has been formulated to be easily blendable and feel just like skin. Each shade is designed to be universally flattering on all skin tones. Hot Fluff is a multi-stick that can be used for lips, eyes, and cheeks. So I'm not really a big multi-stick user. For these products, I was mostly interested in using them as blush. The texture on these is really nice though. I do like it. It's very thin and smooth and just glides on when I swatch it on my skin like that. These 2 shades look pretty similar, but they have a bit of a different undertone. So I got mine in the shade Cannoli, which is this one right here. It's a little bit more peachy brown, and then this one is in Apple Pie, which is a little bit more of like a rosy pink color. So hopefully you can see that the products are definitely not completely matte. They might be once they set down, but they're definitely a very smooth, silky product, and I really do like that. If I wanted to use it on the lips, I think it would be very comfortable. For today, I think I'm gonna use Cannoli on the cheeks and then Apple Pie on the lips. So I am just gonna try to swipe a little bit on the cheek, and then I'm gonna take this IT Cosmetics brush to just buff it in. I'm also gonna take it by like brushing it, taking the bullet and brushing it onto the brush itself. I don't really like to put it directly on the face. I'm just gonna go back in and apply some to the brush. The texture reminds me a little bit of the Rare Beauty blushes that I just reviewed. They both have a very thin, smooth texture to it that isn't like matte or dewy or anything, and just very skin-like. All right, that is super pretty. I think I'm just gonna skip the bronzer today. I keep forgetting to mention the price. The Hot Fluff sticks are also $12 each. So I would say after the eyebrow product, the Hot Fluff sticks are probably my next favorite product. I think they're just really easy to use, nice and versatile, and they have a really nice formula. I haven't used it on my eyes yet, but I don't really feel like I need to. The one thing that I will say about the lip products, as well as the lip liner that I'm about to mention, is that the swatches online make it really, really hard to figure out what the color is and choose one. The lip liner is called the Stay in Line Lip Liner Pencil, and it's a soft and creamy lip liner pencil that's designed to fill, shape, or line the lips. It's infused with vitamin E and jojoba oil, and it glides on smoothly and finishes matte. So I got mine in the shade 5, Leave Me Alone, and let me just show you. So here's a swatch of number 5, Leave Me Alone. It's just like a nice kind of pinkish nude color, and I think it's a pretty color, but to be honest, for my lips, I typically like to go for something a little bit darker. So these lip liners are $10 each, and I do wish that I got a darker color because the formula does seem really nice and smooth. I'll apply a little bit just so you can kind of see. It does give a teeny bit of definition, but I typically would like something a little bit darker. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of the Hot Fluff stick in Apple Pie and just kind of dab it onto the lips. Definitely a very nice smooth matte lipstick. I definitely don't wear too much matte lipsticks, but this one does feel very nice and creamy and comfortable on the lips. But personally, I do think my favorite way to wear this formula is on the cheeks. So that is it for everything that I purchased from the brand. Honestly, I think the quality and the formulation of everything is really, really good, especially when you keep in mind the price point that this is set at. A lot of these products are very comparable, I would say, to a lot of like mid-range products that are sold at Ulta and Sephora, and I think these do a really great job of competing while still be at a very accessible price point and location since it's sold at Target. I don't think there's been such a big drugstore makeup brand launch that's happened in a while, and I think it's great that they came out with so many different products for their first launch. My favorite products are definitely the eyebrow pencil, the matte eyeshadow palette, and the multi-stick. I think all three of these are going to become staples in my makeup collection, and I really think that they're great quality. So these are what I would personally recommend the most, but honestly, there are so many different products to try. I would honestly just grab anything that looks appealing to you, and I don't think that you'll be disappointed. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye!